What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Danmachi. Now, this is really a follow-up to last night's video. After I ended the video, I really tried out a few other teams, and I got a couple recommendations for you guys, and I really appreciate it. And what I came up with was, I think, a really easy-to-build team for a lot of people. So, let me explain this team first of all, okay? Now, I know fire is, like, supposed to be the wrong thing completely. In fact, if you really do the math on this, light kind of has the best builds because light has a ton of just an absolute ton of beast killer units. So we're actually using one of those. We're using the bet unit there in the third slot, and he's gonna do a good job. Maybe not the best job, but he's going to do a fantastic job. In fact, there is some argument for perhaps maybe even putting Ares on that slot. I haven't tried that out yet. It would be a thought, but I'm going to be honest here. The fire team is so crazy OP. Those two together just kind of handle this. So let's go ahead and introduce the team one more time. I do have Elise from the anniversary. Previous anniversary, third anniversary. She is here, Physical Elise. I've tried this with Magic. She does a really good job too. In fact, you could actually fit her on the team in place of Bet and still pull this off in like 6 turns if you do this right. Now, Elise really needs no introduction. She's a fantastic fire unit, and she's an AoE, and she's going to hold her own. Now, obviously, slot 2, we're still going to have the Line unit, and that's for the 33% SI gauge charge. And I introduced Bet already. He's a beast killer. He's a light unit. He's got a great spot there. Now, slot 4 is Lead. Lead, once again, needs no introduction. A really strong, really phenomenal AoE fire unit. Slot 5, is Gallant Armor Eyes, and she's there once again for the AoE debuff on your opponent. Now, there is some argument for maybe using Winnie here instead of her, but I found personally in my runs, you'll do it about a turn faster just by using her instead of waiting for Winnie to kind of do her thing. Now, you could try that. There's different ways you could build these teams. I'm not saying this is the end-all, be-all. I'm saying this is an easy team a lot of people probably could build because a lot of people would probably spec into these units. Finally, slot 6, we have Haruhime, and that's just, she's going to come in turn 3 and kind of help us clean house. Now, assist-wise, slot 1, we have the Apollo, and he's an older unit, but I think a lot of people probably maxed him out, and he's here for fire and light resistance. Notice he has fire and light. Also has allies, strength plus 15. So being this is an all-physical team, being that it is all light, all fire, perfect assist. Now, Finn in slot 2, I really don't think needs any introduction, nor does the AoE Hestia in slot 3, but just in case, I'll go ahead and showcase her real quick. There we go. Damage received, attack all targets plus 15%. She also does 10% agility, but that's the least of our concerns. It's really that AoE damage. That's going to be her biggest thing. Now, Apollo. And here's where it kind of gets weird, because there is some argument to maybe putting Apollo on Bet. In fact, I think I'm going to do that for this run and see what we get. Apollo has a good physical stat. Not the best, but good. But his big thing is physical resistance and penetration rate down 20%. That physical stat is going to help our units out. And like I said, I'm going to swap him out. I've gotten a number of really clean turn 6 kills. But I wonder, because Bet is a beast killer, if this will work a little bit better. Even though he's plus 3, let's give it a try. And remember, there is a buff against fire units. So fire technically shouldn't work here. But they're so OP they do. Now, finally, we have this Light Seer here. Now, Light Seer comes up here. She does 20% magic. Not really worried about that. She's only here for her light attack damage 15%. Now, because she is a magic unit, that means I don't really have a place for her on the team, aside from either in this slot or in this slot. In this slot, I'm actually bringing in Hephaestus, who then does fire attack damage. And it's like 6 of one, half dozen the other. I could go one way or the other on these. And since I'm not attacking with Haruhime, it really doesn't make a difference. So, I mean, technically Haruhime would do better with... well, no, actually she wouldn't, because she's going to get the fire damage there. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. You're not attacking with Haruhime. It really doesn't make a huge difference. But let's go ahead and jump in here and do a quick run. I've been auto-battling this. Yes, I have. Because I've got my skill flow set up. Skill flow in this is really, really, really easy. Basically, turn 1 is just all of your general buff stacks. Nothing too wild. Then, from this point on, you're going to do skill 2 with everybody, with the exception of Haruhime and Gallant Armor Eyes, obviously. Eyes is going to do skill 1 for the AoE debuff. Everybody else here is going to do skill 2. And the only one who's not going to spam skill 2 is Lead. That means that every third turn, Lead is going to go back in. So turn 3, turn 7, etc., etc., etc. Lead's going to go back in and do skill 1 to rebuff that skill. Now, this is like almost perfect. Eyes died and brought in Haruhime at like just the right time. This is absolutely perfect. Because I need my healing. Like, that's really, really, really important. And if Eyes dies, it really wasn't much of a concern. Oops, auto battle got turned back on. Let's turn that back off here. And I'll show you all the resistances and everything we're working on here. Because I have skill flow, I'm not really worried about auto battle being on. I just must have nicked the button there for a moment. So, right now, physical is down 105%. That's really good. Magic has been buffed. It is what it is. Fire has then been debuffed far enough that we can actually do damage finally. And Light is down 15%. So like I said, technically Light should be better, but the Fire team is so crazy OP. It really don't matter. Now, we're going to finish this up in turn 6. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything works out right. Sometimes the RNG doesn't quite work out this way, but I'm going to just feel confident. I'm going to feel pretty confident. There is a way to get a turn 5 kill. There's a light team that can do that. I'm not going to showcase that because I frankly don't have the units to do it. But if you go look at the light team, there's a crazy number of beast killers. You could do that. I will say I have tried this with all sorts of single targets. Just try to get that big single target buff. I even tried this with the new Magic Tiona, who should, in theory, actually be able to bust through this because she's her SA gets 150% to like all stats basically, 150% times 2 because she gets it for every strength magic buff. But unfortunately, it just didn't work out. If you can make that build, great. I have not found any success in that. I found this is probably my most successful, most reliable. So we're going to SA with Bet and Lead. Everybody else just kind of doing the best they can do. Somewhere in turn 4, actually, I did do Sheikah with Haruhime. That's just to make sure we get a little bit more counter rate, a little bit more critical rate. That is going to help out. We do need counters and we do need criticals to make this work. So don't be fooled. We didn't miss that, unfortunately. Good hits right there. I wonder if Lead will hit harder, though. Sometimes he does. Remember, you're looking for your biggest hit. Biggest hit is going to make a big difference. What you got? Actually, I believe Bet actually hit harder. So there you go. So Bet did have like a 1,000,000+ hit in there. I've seen Lead hit for like 1.1. So a lot of this does come down to RNG. But as I said in yesterday's video, there is some benefit to just auto running this and letting it go. All right, counters got it. Oh, that's brutal. And that's what I mean when I say RNG can really screw you. So that is going to hurt my score significantly. But we'll still probably pull, what, 12 million? What we got? 12.7 million. So you're really looking for a turn 3 kill with a good 13.5, almost 14 million score. It's completely doable. Do bear in mind, once again, my biggest hit was... I had a bigger hit. Oh, okay, no. My biggest hit was like right at 1 million, so I actually could get a bit more out of that, technically. But look at the battle stats, look at everything there. Very happy with that. That is a good result, not a phenomenal result. But this is an older team that a lot of people could probably build, very simply put. So I told you guys I'd bring you this team. I'm sorry it took so long to get there. I really didn't put enough value in the fire team. That's kind of my big failure point right there. But we got it now. We got a run in. That's the video, guys. Like, comment, share. I'll be back at you guys with more Danmachi. We're going to talk about fight number 2 coming up tomorrow, and I've got some more really fun things that aren't even related to this coming out really soon. So I'll catch you guys on those videos. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date. I'm out.